everybody, to AstroDetectives, the show where we try to match our guests to their correct birth chart. As always, we have 2 charts to choose from, and today our guest is either a Cancer or a Leo.
Oh boy.
I'm Scott, a skeptic of astrology, and I'm joined by my co-host and professional astrologer, Sarah Hartshorn. Sarah,
Yes.
how does a Cancer compare with a Leo?
Well, they're quite different, Scott.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do they flub the intro? Which one is likely to do that?
So a Cancer is definitely a sign that is going to be more inward and more focused on nurturing and security as far as like safety and protection and nurturing in the home. These are all like big Cancer words. Of course, it's like represented by the crab. And one thing I love about Cancers is just like the crab, often they love like little trinkets. So that'll definitely be a question I ask. And then with Leos, they're, kind of the opposite. They're very much more outward and about self-expression. And, what's interesting is Cancer is ruled by the moon and Leo's ruled by the sun. So the sun is like the center of the universe. So Leos can be a little bit like center of the attention. And they're very like, there's some words that we associate with Leo are leadership, pride, performance, like an actor kind of thing, loyalty. They do have a lot of charisma and warmth, and heart. Both signs are pretty creative, but what's interesting is, the sun is the center of the universe and it gives off all the light and you can't see anything else when the sun is out. And the moon is reflective of the sun's light. So that's another key word for Cancer is reflective. So
now, I know any astrologers listening, they would say, well, that's great for the sun signs, but I want to go deeper than that. What do you recommend for anyone in the audience that has the knowledge to really look into these charts? Where can they find them?
Well, first of all, yes, these charts are available on our website at AstroDetectivesPod.com. And you just go to the charts section and you can download them in either whole sign or Placidus. And then if you become a paid subscriber of our Patreon, we will give you the actual birth data so you can go and cast any chart you like. So, so 2 other key differences about these charts, other than just their sun, is we have the Leo sun is also a Leo rising. So that means the sun is in the first house. So that's kind of like a double down of Leo. This is like someone who's really going to come off like a Leo, very expressive, very performative. They have Venus there. So there's a lot of very charming, harmonious kind of personality. And then we have the Cancer sun who is a Virgo rising. And so that puts the sun in the 11th house, which even though Cancers tend to be a little more shy, that is a social house. So there is some social component to that. But Virgo risings tend to be very they're very about useful skills and learning. They're like skill collectors. So they tend to have upbringings where they learn a lot of skills and kind of learn things on their own, or can be very what do you call it? You like independent, or kind of like take care of your own needs or help other people, things like that. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah.
Helpful. Yeah. So
helpful,
like a crab collecting trinkets and a Virgo collecting career skills.
Yeah. So that
and
would be
then a
this
Leo
person.
just blasting everything outward.
Yes, exactly. And one other interesting thing is Cancers tend to be very nostalgic. They're drawn to nostalgia, but Leo is often drawn to history. So kind of the past for both of them in a way, but it shows up a little differently sometimes.
Well, we will be looking for that, and everyone in the audience, go and grab those charts, and you can be looking for those things as well. Drop a comment wherever you're watching or listening with a timestamp. Let us know if anything pops out to you during the interview or what you'll be looking for. You can even make some guesses before we officially make our guesses. And at the end of the episode, we will find out which one is our guest. Are they a Leo? Are they a Cancer? Are they collecting trinkets on the beach? Or are they taking center stage in the spotlight? Boy, that's going to be a guest. I mean, if you had to choose the easiest guest to to have them come across and really reveal themselves on a show, would it be a Leo? Because they're just like, bam, here I am.
Especially like when you have the ruler, the sun, a Leo, when you have the ruler of the ascendant, which they're a Leo rising, and they're ruled by the sun. So when you have that, like that ruler in the first house and it happens to be Leo, what you see is what you get. They come across as themselves because they can't be anything else. They're just all authenticity.
And then if it's the Cancer, we might have to do a little more digging and picking, get our sand shovels out and do a little bit of excavating. All right, everybody. Well, go and grab those charts if you need them, and we'll meet our guest right after this break. Hey, listeners, we're not just a podcast that tests astrology. We're an independent detective agency. That means we rely on you to help us keep the show running.
Exactly. By joining AstroDetectives on Patreon, you can support our mission to finally prove astrology is real.
Or, completely debunk it.
Here we go again.
One thing we can agree on, AstroDetectives is the only place you'll find astrologers and skeptics working together, like a buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed.
And trust me, detective work takes time, gathering evidence, late night stakeouts, solving cases, especially when Mercury's retrograde.
Okay, you can't blame Mercury.
The first step is easy and free. Just follow Astro Detectives on Patreon to get access to our debrief episodes where the conversation continues after each case ends. We break down what went right and what went wrong.
And if you want to fast track your training, become a rookie detective for only $3 a month. You'll unlock exclusive bonus episodes, plus early releases and the top secret case files sent straight to your inbox.
Or for just $1 a month, we'll make you an Astro intern. No compensation per se, but hey, you'll gain valuable detective experience and that warm fuzzy feeling knowing you're helping us keep the lights on.
So if you like what we're doing and want to support us, head over to patreon.com/astrodetectives and join the investigation today. Welcome back, everybody. We hope you had time to grab the 2 charts on the website because now we are joined with our guest, Kayla. Welcome to Astro Detectives.
Hello.
Hello. So we're going to try and get to know you a little bit. And we always like to start with a little bit of work history or what kind of occupies your time the most.
Right now, I'm mostly a stay-at-home mom. My son just recently turned 2. But I also do remote work for, I don't know what title you would call it. I guess some people call it office manager or like operations manager, but for a neuropsychologist. So I'm working in a office that does forensic neuropsychology. Just doing regular office stuff. I just do office stuff for her. That's only like a part-time few hours a week. And the rest of it is totally eaten up by the 2-year-old.
Now, neuropsychology, that sounds like an interesting office to work in. Can you speak a little bit about what your office does?
Yeah. So I work for a woman who has a PhD, and she's a specialist in cognitive disorders. So when I first started working for her, I was trained on administering memory and cognitive tests. I don't know if there's anybody in your chat or anyone here who's had to take anything like that. It could be or in your family. She tests a lot for Alzheimer's or dementia, traumatic brain injuries, just things that assess your brain functioning, where it should be, where it's at, determine that kind of stuff. It's a little less on like the emotional side of psychology and more into like, she works closely with neurologists in terms of like sharing data and stuff. But currently right now for her office that I'm working at, she just does forensics. So she gets referrals from attorneys in the area. And so that is another interesting side of it, because I'm obviously keeping everything confidential. That's a high importance, but I do take in new information, and you learn a lot of interesting things about things that are going on in the area from a different lens. So that's typically what she does, and I just facilitate the office happenings around that.
Now, I imagine if you're going into a job interview with a neuropsychologist, wait, I don't know if I got that exactly right, but do you feel like they're diagnosing you? And did you have to take a test like that if they're deciding, do I want this person to work for me? And just how did you feel during that process?
Oh, I mean, it's a very nerve-wracking process, because you don't know what exactly they're looking at. I had just started to learn about neuropsychology. I had taken a couple of courses when I went to college, because I have a bachelor's in psychology. So just lightly touched on all kinds of things related to mental health, emotional health. So my mind was running with what she might be assessing about me. There was a level of me not completely unfamiliar with her. Her husband had worked with my father for when I was a child. So it was like kind of that extra connection to take out, some more uncertainty to it, but it was pretty nerve-wracking.
What would you say your strengths are and struggles might be? Let's start with the job, and then we might expand a little bit into general areas.
Strengths, I've actually said that one of my superpowers since working on that job, because having to work so closely with people having mental difficulties, whether it's memory, cognitive, or traumatic brain injury, they are coming in with a lot of nervousness and unsure of what I was thinking of them or what the doctor's notes were, that kind of fear that can happen when you're seeing a doctor or specialist of that nature. And I was always really good at getting people to be at ease after a while. It takes a little bit of time to get comfortable, but I think just me as a person, I can roll with any punches, and there'd be a lot of different punches, I guess, in this profession. So that was my strength, just being able to remain calm in a stressful situation. And probably my weakness, you could get a bit of that in the beginning where my mind starts going, and it takes a while for me to get my words and my thoughts all in order. So that could absolutely be applied to my job, where sometimes I would have too many threads I was trying to grab a hold of instead of completing one.
I was reading in your survey, which you submitted, that when you were a kid, you had a lot of different job interests. Sometimes we have one or two, but I wonder if you can name a couple of them and then what you found appealing about them at that age and, maybe still do.
Yeah. I remember in preschool, kindergarten, more like, I saw the Spice Girls movie. Spice Girls, it was around the world. I can't remember what the name of the movie was. I wanted to be a pop star. I remember that was big, and it was just because fun outfits, bright. Obviously, as a kindergartner, that's what was appealing to me. And then as soon as I got a little bit older, I would say that I wanted to be a writer not that long after. When I was younger, I wanted attention. It probably is what that stems from. I did like attention, and I used to be described as a ham. So I'd say earlier on, I wanted things that might have had me more in the spotlight. But then when I got to high school, I started thinking more of ways that I could be working with people or in front of people, but maybe in more one-on-one, two-on whatever type situations. I guess if I was trying to analyze it like that, but definitely, yeah, pop star when I was younger. At one point when I was in high school, I wanted to be a lawyer, but got to look at how much reading there is. And I think I stepped back really quick.
That was the same thing that scared me away from law. I wanted to be a lawyer too, because I like to argue, but then I realized how much reading is involved. And it's just like, no, it's more fun to just show up and wing it on a podcast.
Yes. Yeah. You see TV lawyers and you're like, I can do that.
Right? And do you think that, well, now you have a child of your own that's, you said 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like when you talked about yourself being more free at an earlier age, do you think that that changes as people get older? You get more walls up, and do you see that in your own child?
I am curious how it's going to be for my own child, because unlike me, he is very confident. So he has a lot of the ham personality I think that I had, but like much less of the nervousness or the self-doubt, at least that I can see. And it really depends on the person. I think there's lots of different ways you can nurture certain sides of yourself. And as I got older, I chose more to nurture the not solitary. That's not quite, because I do, maintain friendships, but less eyes, working with people, or working in general in a place where there's less eyes on me. Like with the doctor's office, I'm the only employee, so I'm mostly working on my own, doing whatever she needs. And so it is very different from what I had seen when I was younger. But I guess I don't know. I don't know what others would think of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was going to be one of my next questions is how would others, mainly friends and family, describe you?
Probably affable. I'm pretty excitable in general. I like to joke around. So any opportunity to, make my friends laugh. But I think a lot of my friends are like that too. We all just kind of like want to make quips, make each other laugh. I think that's how they view me, that they see me as like friendly and helpful. The friends that I get closer to might see me as a bit more intense, or trying to think of another word. Not serious. I don't think anybody sees me really as serious. Not that I can't be serious. I guess that was one of the questions I heard when I watched the video. I've been thinking about it, and I don't know. Now I want to ask all my friends how they would describe me.
Well, lucky you. We brought him on. Let's get him on here. Let's see. The last question I'll have, and then I'll pass it over to Sarah for some deeper questions, and I'll kind of chime in here and there, is if you could kind of describe some of your hobbies. This could also be just media that you like, certain movies or music that really resonates with you, but just also what you like to do for fun in your free time.
Well, see, music, I do really love going to see live music. Raised in a house that loved movies, loved music, all that kind of stuff. So I've done a lot of going out to music at the parks or going to concerts at venues. I'm lucky to live somewhere where there's a good amount of options for shows. I am going to see a concert actually in a couple weeks. So that I would say is like a pretty big hobby of mine. I love baking. My favorite comfort shows, because I am one of those people that will rewatch I like to watch new things, but I also will pick my favorite shows and I'll watch them over and over again to death. And I enjoy going outside, but I would say I'm generally end up staying closer to home. So I like going out hiking or swimming, but more often than not, I'll choose to stay home and I'll play video games, something either cozy like Stardew Valley, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of in that realm, or something. I just finished playing Civilization 6 with my fiance. So that or reading. Pretty much a lot of home-makey type stuff, or going out and experiencing food and music.
I hadn't heard of that first game. What was that first one? I played tons of Civilization. It was one of the earlier ones, but what was the...
Stardew Valley is a farm simulator game. Actually, my fiance played it first, like when it first came out, and I roasted him so hard because I always thought of like Farmville or whatever, but it's just a pixel art game. It's more than just farming, it's just like if you like doing a game where there's a bit of a grind and you're building on something, you're doing kind of Civilization type building. I would say it's pretty fun.
I am not the audience for those, but they keep popping up in my feed and I keep downloading them optimistically because I'm like, all right, we're going to be killing zombies or whatever. And then it always turns into one of those games where you need to go over here and collect the coins and turn that into a new barracks and turn that into slowly building your city. Or the crops need to be checked on and you just bring all this over and build your new granary.
I could be managing my actual life right now.
Yes, that's what it seems like. It's like, oh, I could be doing this for myself, but instead it's this imaginary world.
Yeah. That's kind of the games that I will play, the imaginary world.
Sarah, do you get hooked by those games?
I definitely played a lot of games in my like teens and 20s and as a kid too. I still like games. I just don't have like as much time as I wish I did for them. But I will say every like 5 or 6 years, I will bring out the Nintendo and play some Ocarina of Time and all the Zelda games.
Right here, yeah, some of the old ones. I think I was falling out around that time with gaming, but my fiance, who I've been with for a long time, he really likes gaming, and so it was just a way for us to do stuff together. So it makes it easier to make time for it when it's our together thing.
I love that. That's cool. So I wanted to ask about you said you got a bachelor's in psychology.
Yeah.
Do you remember like what your initial intention was to like why you were pursuing that?
Yes, I really like the idea of just helping people, being like a good, I've always, when I was growing up, I thought of myself as a good listener, that like that's enough to get fully into psychology. But my main interest was always, I think, with developmental psychology and with children. And I probably, no matter what I've done throughout my life, career wise, there has been more of a focus on like, I'd like to do right by the future, like the children are our future kind of thing. So, that was my main interest at first. And then with the neuropsychology, I ended up working with a lot more older people, funnily enough. So that was my first reason for getting into psychology, though.
Okay. And let's see, I do have a lot of questions. I'm just trying to tell us about your tattoos, because I thought that was really interesting on your form.
Oh, yeah. I have a little no face, and he's holding Calcifer.
Oh, okay. You described it, and now I recognize that thing. Is that from a game?
That's from this anime movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Studio
Okay.
And then the other one was I was actually working at a wedding where they had a tattoo artist, like that was just there giving like little tattoos, and
That's cool.
Like almost 8 hours straight, and it was like the end of the day, and she was exhausted. She was like, "Oh, come on, I'll give you guys a tattoo." So me and my sisters, who are all working it there together, got a little tattoo at the end of the night. And
that's such a great idea. And I wonder how many people got random tattoos, spur of the moment.
The very first tattoo. Honestly, if I had like a friend who would do that, that was a great idea.
Wow.
How many of them thought they were temporary and they're like, oh, it's like this party thing and it's going to wash off tomorrow. Oh,
I could, maybe one, but I feel like with all the gun and everything out, that's doing a lot of leaps and judgment for that.
When you were talking about being in the office and you said something about having less eyes on me, do you like it that way, or does that not feel good?
It's kind of, I do like it that way, but I've been reflecting more and I feel like I need maybe a balance of both.
Okay.
Thinking about there is a good side to social pressure. Sometimes if I'm left completely alone for too long, I will like I was saying, losing the thread. I think I work better under pressure. I work better in groups, but I also, while I'm working on something, I don't want people over my shoulder or, interrupting flow, I guess, is more how I would say, that I prefer no eyes on me.
Okay, gotcha. So, all right, I want to kind of dig into like maybe your upbringing. And so you talked about like some of the things you wanted to be, but what did you end up actually spending? How did you spend a lot of your time growing up?
Growing up, I'm trying to think of different. Well, in grade school, we weren't like latchkey kids, but we were kind of left to our own devices. We lived in a smaller town. We lived right next door to our school that had like a big field and like the playground. So I did spend a lot of time outside as a kid. Um, I did spend probably an equal amount of time inside playing, video games. So my dad liked video games. So I grew up with the PlayStation and the Xbox in the house. I played Halo. It was a family thing. And then, yeah, going to like music or events. We did a lot of stuff like as a family. Later on, earlier on, there was, some dysfunction in the family because my mom stepped out on us when I was like 11. So there was a big period where it was just kind of like getting along as best we could. But my sisters and I always had each other. So it's probably why we spend a lot of time outside. And it's like, I don't ever remember like big old gaps of time because, we had each other in the room, whatever. We could go outside. The town we lived in was safe enough that we were allowed, some freedom. And then in high school, I spent time doing extracurriculars. I did dance in high school or just farted around at home with my sisters.
Okay. All right. And so you mentioned, do you not have contact with your mom now?
Not really. I do and I don't. She is around. She's met my son, but I've long since put any investment in that. She's struggles with addiction issues.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's ever been fully clean, but it's also something that like I'm sure people, if anybody else in the chat knows, you just stop asking after a certain point. But and just so you know, I'm not like sensitive or like upset about talking about these things. It comes out really easily. So don't feel bad if you want to pry, like go for it. I'd be really surprised if you offended me at all. But no, I don't see her that much. Her mother lives not far from me. And so I maintain a relationship with her mostly, I guess, for my grandmother, her mom. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Okay. And then how would you describe your dad? You said he liked video games.
Yeah, my dad, he was an only child. He loves video games. He loves live music. He loves going out and doing sports. He played softball on a league when we were growing up. So I guess that might be part of the reason I have so many varied interests, because my dad also liked to get out there and do a lot of things. And the community we were raised in, he was also raised in. So it's just like kind of like this deep rooted sort of feeling. You can't go anywhere without him knowing people. He likes to go out and hang out with his friends. They would have like barbecues all the time. So it was definitely like a big sense of community. My dad's always been really about doing stuff with people or complaining about how he never gets the chance to do nothing.
What was his job or career?
He's been a machinist pretty much my whole life. So just metalworking, essentially.
Okay. And how did he handle your mother walking out and then having to raise all these children?
I think all things considered, he was 23 when I was born, and then just put an average of 2 years. I have 3 younger sisters. So they were just like not being like an average of 2 years between all of us. So he had a lot to deal with. And I know he was very stressed because he was also developing diabetes around the same time too. But I just remember him pulling us in for all these talks, and he really made sure that we were all close knit and tried to instill like that family was super important. He like kind of put like his foot down from fracturing happening. We were lucky to have a lot of community and everything too, but he was like, he did this thing where he like drew a circle and he's like, this is the family unit. This is the strongest unit. And he does this whole thing. And then he talks about like the next strongest shape is like the triangle, is the triangle around it. Right. And he's like, so there's your friends and all these other people. And then he does the square and it's like, that's a weak shape. Like he just like did this whole breakdown for us like that and like talked about it like that. So it was like, I think he handled it really well, especially with his 4 daughters. I'm grateful that he was not like a toxically masculine man. He has his moments, of course, but he's like, I'd seen him cry. He was, knew the importance of like getting in touch with us, like emotionally as best as he could in all that time. So I thought he did pretty well, all things considered.
Okay. Okay. All right. And would you mind if there's anything you could share about health, like any illnesses, accidents, injuries, or minor things that you've dealt with?
Personally, I'm pretty accident prone.
Okay.
I was run over by a car when I was like 3 or 4, just like the foot. Such drama. Like I feel like I'm trauma dumping on you guys. It was, run over by a car when I was 4, so I don't have a heel on my right foot. I had another car accident. Like, so I've had accidents that just like happened to me physically, but I've managed to bounce back from pretty well. Like, obviously I'm here healthy. My health has generally been okay. Probably like anxiety has been my worst like mental health thing, but physical health, nothing besides like the physical accidents, I would say, and nothing really bad health wise has come up.
Okay. So you said you don't have a heel on your right foot?
It's so weird, actually. Yeah. If you like feel your foot and like you can almost feel like where the top of the heel is, like you feel the bone that's kind of like almost there. And then there's like all that meat that's underneath it, there's like the meat there is gone. So it's kind of like almost like a little ridge. It's so weird.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no. So basically like my shoes are like a little bit too small on that foot. Not enough to like go get special shoes or anything.
Do you have like, would you say you have ankle issues?
Yes, I have ankle issues. I'm like flat footed on that side. It's giving me like a bit of like problems with my balance, I guess.
Okay. Have you ever had any problems with your back?
Nothing serious other than just like, I've had some lower back pain, which would end up being my own posture. If I am, yeah, it's weird because it's like as long as I'm being more focused about my posture, I'm okay. I don't think I've had any back pain that's abnormal for people. Before my period, I always get back pain, but that's
Okay.
it. I had neck pain but that was also from a car accident that was in, after I graduated college. I was in a car accident and I was like, my neck was fractured and I had to get surgery, and I got surgery there too. So it was like a whole bunch of physical stuff there. So I have like aches and pains all over, but like, again, all things considered, it could be doing pretty okay.
Okay. Scott, I have more questions, but I didn't want to ignore you. So
No. I got my little overview in, and I'm just enjoying the answers to these questions because I'm always curious, what's Sarah going to get to next? And then hearing you expand on it is fascinating.
Okay, here's a interesting question, kind of scenario. So if I invited you to a party and I said the party starts at 8, what time would you come? Most likely.
Oh my gosh, I'm probably like there pretty close to like the start time as much as I can, but I do run late, I'll be honest. So I'm usually aiming to get there near the start, but it'll probably be like, 15, 20 minutes later.
And so what do you do when you arrive? Are you more like, just start socializing and holding court, or do you like try to help out, or, like, does something need to be done?
I probably start socializing first. I make my way to the kitchen for sure. I do offer to help, but like I'm usually the person where I'm getting caught. Everyone asks me, hey, got to give them a hug, got to do all that with everyone. Unless I'm, was rushing to get there and I'm all overstimulated, then I'm like, nobody talk to me until I get a drink in my hand. And then I start socializing. But yeah. I like to, I don't really step in the kitchen to offer to help that much, but probably because when I'm at my house, I'm like, I don't want anybody to bother me when I'm in the kitchen. But I will like pick up as I go.
Okay. Let's see. I had another question about this. Okay, so what about what are the things that you like to talk about at parties or with your friends? Like, is there certain topics that come up a lot?
Mm, I'm trying to think if there's certain topics that come up a lot. I have a group of friends that I see pretty regularly, and we go to like trivia like most weeks. So we probably talk about a lot of varied things. We do talk about crafts or music or current events sometimes, but not, we all keep it lighter for the most part. If we talk about current events, we're usually like trying to crack jokes or, that kind of thing. I guess music, movies. I'm trying to think if there's anything like specific. It feels like we talk about anything, all kinds of things, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you said also on your form that you were kind of raised in a home that was more like atheist, but you identify as kind of spiritual now. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Um, like being raised, my dad was definitely more claimed to be atheist, and he's really like anti-organized religion, and he didn't really have nice things to say about that. But he was never um it was never like all or nothing. So it wasn't like he was like hostile to religion in general, because we had family friends who were religious and everything. I would say that he called himself atheist, but he was probably more accurately agnostic based on how he acted and his like open-mindedness, I suppose. Um, and yeah, I'd say I'm more spiritual now. And his mom probably was a bit more spiritual. So he jokes that it skips a generation, but it was always very open-minded, like the household. We have had more of a negative view of organized religion, but we liked the good teaching. So like, I mean, we never were spitting on anything for being religious, as long as they were doing something for the community, just being like good to your neighbor. I'm like, we're all for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I suppose that's felt like natural to get into more spirituality in general, if that kind of thing speaks to me, not so much a specific religion.
Okay. What are the kind of spiritual topics that you're drawn to?
Um, well, I have obviously been interested in astrology, especially more the last couple of years. Um, just like the self-improvement aspects of spirituality, trying to find a way to better myself and help others do the same thing. I'm drawn to those aspects. I don't have any kind of framework for it. I'd say like me as a person, I have a hard time putting labels on anything, which I know a lot of people are like, I hate labels, but I I guess I've just been self-directed for a lot of this stuff, that it's hard for me to say like what aspects I'm into. I could probably start describing things and people would tell me like, oh, well, that's Taoism, or that I have not studied it so much as I'm just like taking bits and pieces from everywhere and just kind of slowly building on it. Right now, I've been using astrology to kind of understand myself and my friends better and my family better. And just kind of like going from there intuitively wherever it leads me.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had an interest in history?
Yes, I do like history.
Okay. Like just casually or like more seriously?
I see it's hard for me to say because everything ends up being like passively or casually. I maybe I could have mentioned this when you said health. I have ADHD.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that just answers a lot of your other questions in terms of how I approach things.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So this year's been a lot about trying to like hone my focus on certain things. There's lots of things that I like passively. It seems I go out at the world intuitively and trying to find direction or some kind of organization to it.
Okay.
Do you have any interest in like nostalgia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like very nostalgic. I
Okay.
could expand on that, I'm sure, but I'll stop.
But, Um, do you like to collect trinkets at all or knickknacks, or like to keep it pretty basic?
I think I collect knickknacks and trinkets. I was just looking around at like a few. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. Are you like really detail oriented or like
um,
OCD or anything like that?
Nothing. Well, I can be a perfectionist sometimes.
Okay.
The execution of that might be impeded by ADHD, but generally I try to be, very detail oriented and organized with how I put things together. That's the
Okay.
goal.
Are you a fussy eater or like what do you like to eat?
I'm not that fussy of an eater. I don't like cheese. A lot of people gasp at that. I just have never really enjoyed cheese, and I'm very hit or miss with certain fish, but I'll eat nearly anything else.
Okay. Is your hair like super important to you, or is it like, I mean, more so than maybe most people, or is it just, you know?
No, I wouldn't say more so than most people. I do care that it looks nice, but
Hmm.
I only go to get a haircut maybe once a year, twice a
Okay.
year sometimes. And then I did a little hair dye. This was like a fun thing that I did, and it's been years since I've done something like that. I try to be a little maintenance with my appearance when I can.
Okay. Um, and I'm kind of getting toward the end here. I'm going to wrap it up soon.
Oh no.
But so did you say at one point that like mental health is kind of like an issue that you have to deal with?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't know that it's more than a lot of other people are dealing with in this day and age. It's just uh I'm very like self-reflective, and I think about my emotions and why I feel those ways or why I do the things I do. I think about that kind of stuff a lot. Because I think that's the only way to like be better and like improve as a person. So
Hmm.
um maybe it expresses itself more than some people, but I wouldn't be able to know that.
When was the last time that you cried?
Um, this morning.
What made you cry?
Um, it was a combination of being frustrated because we've been like sick in the house for quite a few days. So I'm exhausted toddler. My dad is having some health issues right now, and I received a text that there was poor communication and issues with scheduling that like with the doctors. And so then I, was very upset, like, why didn't they effing bah, 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 cry a little bit. And then once
Hmm.
it starts, then I'm just like, okay, let it out. There's other things bothering me. And I'll usually
Hmm.
sniffle for a little bit and then I'm fine.
Are you able to go from like happy to sad really quickly and cycle through emotions pretty quickly?
Yes, it probably makes me seem like a crazy person, but I feel like any of my emotions that I have like are never that far out of reach. Not that I'm like cycling through them, but like I feel a lot of things at once, I guess. It's just what you kind of are like giving attention to,
Hmm.
focusing on.
Are you planning to dress up for Halloween?
Yes, we were, but we were sick for so long. So we're going to have to throw something together. But thankfully, I have a costume box. So we'll put something together. It was not going to be we wanted to be the Hills from King of the Hill. So we have like a little blonde 2-year-old right now. And we thought that would just be really funny and really easy. But I didn't, we weren't able to get together like the last little pieces. So I will probably just be a witch and a warlock.
I just realized we have not asked you about your partner. Are you married?
Oh, we just got engaged. We've been in
Oh,
a relationship for more than 10 years. It's been a long time. We were just like dragging our feet on getting married. We have a 2-year-old together. So we just got engaged a couple of months ago. And but I've been cohabitating for like 10 years. So it's probably why I forget to tell people too.
Okay. Can you tell us about your partner a little bit?
Yeah. He is where I'm like more extroverted. He's definitely more introverted. He also is emotional in his own way, but he's much more stoic and kind of dry in his delivery with most things. Like I said, he is also interested in gaming. He's really good with technology stuff in general and like problem solving. And he works in finance, something related to that. And anything else you want to know about him?
Oh, that's pretty good. You made me think of another question. Are you a risk taker? Do you like to do risky things like, skydiving, or are you more concerned about like safety?
When I was younger, but yeah, I'm definitely more concerned with safety. Like I mentioned, being really accident prone, after each accident, I think my caution kept growing more. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just generally more cautious. I don't want to get hurt. I'm more nervous about that than I was. I wouldn't say I'm a risk taker.
Okay. And then do you have like cold extremities, like arms and legs and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
My partner does, and he'll steal my heat during the winter.
Okay. Do you like, I think you said you had pretty good health, but like, are you someone that does get like the flu every year or get sick or things like that?
Not every year. I was actually surprised. I think this year we weren't sick for a long time. It's been a long time since I had been sick. So, generally no, but I feel like sometimes there'll be just like stretches where we're just getting multiple colds. Maybe it's like a few years on, few years off. Some years there'll be only one flu, if any, and then other years we'll be sick multiple times.
Okay. All right. Last question. Are you someone who generally tends to put other people before yourself and forgets like, oh yeah, I gotta take care of myself too? Or is it the opposite?
I probably put others before me a lot of the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially now, that's what parents do, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. It's been great for losing weight and, for getting to eat. No. Yeah, he's number one priority.
Yeah. How's your sleep schedule doing?
We're actually so blessed in that regard. I can't even complain because he was so easy to sleep train, and like we didn't even need to sleep train him. He's slept through the night a lot since he was young, so that was one thing that we were really gifted with. So if my sleep's bad, it's because I look at my phone before bed.
We're full of tips on this show too. So don't look at your phone before bed if you want a good night's sleep.
Yeah, no. Sleep hygiene. That's something I learned at the neuropsychology office. That's incredibly important.
Okay. Wait. One more. Do you ever have digestion issues?
This is gonna be I feel like I have a pretty strong stomach and I'm pretty regular in that regard.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I have a pretty iron stomach. That's where my partner had a weaker stomach. That was another
Okay, good. All right. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, we've learned a lot. Thank you very much for being so forthcoming. We're going to take a quick little huddle. So I'm going to put you in the waiting room for about 5 minutes, and then we'll bring you right back in, and we'll find out if your information has put us in the right direction or if we've been misled. All right. So you get a little break, and then we'll see you in a bit. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, Sarah, we've got a lot to work with here. It is fun with those questions because sometimes I know what you're getting at, and sometimes I'm like, I wonder where in the chart it talks about cold extremities, or something like that. And it leads to such an interesting line of questioning because it can seem like it's moving from one completely different area to the next, but it together builds a complete person in a very interesting way.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to lean into the medical, health stuff, because I find that whenever I am wrong and pick the wrong chart, I realized I've gone against what the medical astrology was saying. And that has always been like super consistent. So I'm trying to focus on that a little bit more. I'm hoping it's not going to burn me today, but that and the appearance, or just kind of like, appearance and health, I feel like, because those things are a little bit more objective. Whereas like when you're trying to understand someone's psychology, it's being filtered through their perspective. And so sometimes you have to read between the lines, and that can get confusing. So,
well, that can save us some time. We can just say, give us a list of your health ailments. Actually, just give us your medical history.
Yeah.
And then we're good to go. Because like you said, personality issues can be a little more flexible, Mm-hmm. Am I outgoing? Am I introverted? I don't know. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you leaning one way or the other strongly?
I think so. I know people with some of these placements, so I was really trying to see, do they remind me of this person or do they remind me of this person? So, but I think like health-wise, like when she talked about that heel and ankle issue, one of these charts is accident prone, and I would guess I was guessing one of these charts was going to say that they had ankle issues. I was a little surprised by the heel, but I'm trying to put my poker chips on that being close enough to the ankles.
No, even asking her, does that count as an ankle injury? And she said, yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty dang close, unless there's a placement for heel issues, but I think it might all be wrapped up in the ankle.
Yeah, I was looking really quick at my notes to see if like there was something specifically calling out the heel, but I think it's close enough to the ankle that it's part of that same zone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, enough beating around the bush. We got to make our decisions, and I will be honest, it's difficult for me.
Oh.
I mean, for me, I'm choosing between a Cancer and a Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like this happens all the time, but there were a lot of things from both categories, She likes doing her little collecting. She's a little more like stay-at-homey now, but she comes across as very outgoing, has a large social circle, and saw herself as being in the spotlight earlier in life.
Well, I will say that the one thing is, okay, we've talked about the chart ruler, Scott, so I don't know if that you remember that, but that is whatever planet is associated with the rising sign. Okay. So for our Leo rising, that's the sun, and it's in Leo. But for our Virgo rising, that planet is Mercury, and it's in Leo. So they're going to have there's something about their identity that is like tied to Leo, but the sun in the first house is definitely way more bigger dose of that Leo than Mercury in Leo in the 12th house, which is kind of a hidden behind the scenes house. So I'm, the cinema and acting, she did mention like that a lot. So I'm trying to figure out how much to weigh that,
Well, I've got mine written down. I've gone ahead and chosen one of them,
all right.
But I don't feel strongly about it.
Okay.
Do you feel strongly about yours? Do you think we got...
Well, the thing is, I always feel strongly.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
You know,
I mean, that's the difference between...
But because I've, I've been wrong sometimes, then that fractures my confidence. And I don't like saying if I'm confident or not.
All right. Well, then I'll say I'm very confident, Sarah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Do we want to reveal whether we've chosen the Leo or the Cancer?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
And on 1, 2, 3. Let's see. You can't see mine, but yeah, we both chose Cancer.
Okay. And I feel like this is what I keep choosing over and over again. Like we keep having like Cancer's been a choice the last couple of episodes.
It's bound to hit one time. If you just keep betting black, it's going to hit.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be that today. So.
All right. Well, right after this break, we're going to bring our guest back in and find out if she is the Leo or the Cancer. Hey, listeners, we're not just a podcast that tests astrology. We're an independent detective agency. That means we rely on you to help us keep the show running.
Exactly. By joining AstroDetectives on Patreon, you can support our mission to finally prove astrology is real.
Or, completely debunk it.
Here we go again.
One thing we can agree on, AstroDetectives is the only place you'll find astrologers and skeptics working together, like a buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed.
And trust me, detective work takes time, gathering evidence, late-night stakeouts, solving cases, especially when Mercury's retrograde.
Okay, you can't blame Mercury.
The first step is easy and free. Just follow AstroDetectives on Patreon to get access to our debrief episodes where the conversation continues after each case ends. We break down what went right and what went wrong.
And if you want to fast-track your training, become a rookie detective for only $3 a month. You'll unlock exclusive bonus episodes, plus early releases and the top secret case files sent straight to your inbox.
Or for just $1 a month, we'll make you an Astro intern. No compensation per se, but hey, you'll gain valuable detective experience and that warm fuzzy feeling knowing you're helping us keep the lights on.
So if you like what we're doing and want to support us, head over to patreon.com/AstroDetectives and join the investigation today. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Kayla again. Sarah and I have made our choices. We were on the same page this time. There's something comforting about that for me, because I'm the skeptic / not that knowledgeable in astrology. So when I'm working off of just sun sign stuff or whatever and vibes, I feel like if we're going down together, Sarah.
Yeah.
and if you're right, then I'm like, well, I put another one up on the scoreboard too. And Sarah, she's semi-confident. She's very confident, somewhat. We like to build up the tension here because this is really the most dramatic part of the show.
I know.
Kayla, the pressure is off of you. You've done a great job. And now it's on us, and we are either going to succeed or fail completely. And then we're going to feel that way for the rest of the week until the next episode.
Well, let's see. I feel like you guys were getting a good read on me.
So a lot rides on this. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So please answer correctly. All right. Kayla, we were choosing between a Leo and a Cancer. Hopefully one of those two is your sun sign. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. That's a good start.
That's a good start.
Okay, Kayla, are you a Leo or a Cancer?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Chalk up a success for Team Astrology and Team Skeptic.
Yeah, I was bracing myself. I was like, if she says Leo, oh,
I was born on the 20th of July, so it's pretty close there. And I have 2 Leo placements. So
you do. Yeah, that's what made it a little tricky. But that other chart was a Leo Sun, Leo Rising. So that is a front and center Leo, like see me kind of energy. So
My son's a Leo sun and a Leo rising.
Okay.
All right.
Is he a little performer?
Oh yeah, a little performer, but he's got a Scorpio moon.
Oh.
Yeah, throwing like a curveball.
Yeah, that is a curveball.
Well, if we're still on the air in however many years, he would be a great guest, and we'll have forgotten his placements by then.
Oh,
Not me.
Well, we like to do an after show called The Debrief, and this is where we get into the specifics of your chart and what was leading us in one direction or the other. Kayla, are you able to stick around a little bit longer for that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, totally optional.
I mean, yeah, if you want me, I'm not going anywhere.
Awesome. Well, before we take off, can you tell us, is there any place that you want to send listeners, anything you have to promote, even if it's just a long walk in nature, something that you would like to, plug?
Oh, I do actually. This is something that I've started doing and it's been really nice. You know, sometimes when you think about somebody that you haven't talked to in a while and you wonder how they're doing, why don't you try texting them and ask them how they're doing? It's just surprise them, let them know that you're thinking about them, and it goes a long way for people, for yourself too. So I don't know, try that once next week.
Just go straight to the source.
Yeah, let people know you're thinking about them.
And
that's good advice.
Sarah, where can people find you?
Well, they can find me at heartshornastrology.com, and I do human design and astrology readings.
And you guys can't find me anywhere. I don't do solar anymore, and I'm no longer in gym memberships. We're going to see where Scott's career takes him next. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll become an astrologer. Who knows?
I think you should.
Yeah? Yeah, okay. Well, that's it, everyone. Let us know what you thought by commenting on whatever platform you follow us on. Links to our accounts are in the show notes. As always, thanks to Mike, our IT guy, and his AstroDetectives random chartifier thingy for providing the charts this week. If you like the show and want to support it, you can visit patreon.com/AstroDetectives, where this conversation continues on the free Patreon-only debrief. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube so you don't miss the next episode. Rate and review and tell your friends. And until next time, this case is closed.